Hello, I'm Secretary of State Kris Warner, and I serve as the Chief Business Officer for the state of West Virginia. Part of my responsibility is to make sure that West Virginia is positioned to help create a strong pro-business environment to help grow our state's economy. To do that, my office is working to promote the services and programs available throughout the state to help support entrepreneurs and small business owners. This is part of a video series we call Just 3 Questions with West Virginia business leaders and entrepreneurs. Joining me today is Marshall University's President Brad Smith. President Smith is one of the nation's premier entrepreneurs. He's a 1986 graduate of Marshall. He rose to become one of the world's most respected Silicon Valley CEOs, then retiring as chairman of Intuit. Intuit is an American company that has produced wildly popular online programs such as QuickBooks, TurboTax, and MailChimp. Today, Intuit employs over 18,000 people. President Smith, therefore, knows a little bit about entrepreneurship, but more importantly, knows how to support entrepreneurs. Brad was born and raised in Kenova. I think many times he likes to just be referred to as Brad from Kenova. He became Marshall University's president in 2022. Thank you for joining us for Just 3 Questions today. Let's talk about Marshall's effort to support economic development in West Virginia and in the tri-state area. Particularly, I want to ask about Marshall's support for entrepreneurs, for small business owners, inventors, small business owners. That will be our focus for today. So let's start with, how does Marshall University play a role in driving West Virginia's economy, President Smith?
Well, first, Mr. Secretary, thank you for having me, and thank you for being a champion for entrepreneurs and for small businesses. Marshall University is privileged to be one of our state's flagship institutions, and in doing so, we focus on 3 things. We want to accelerate individual success, we want to accelerate innovative ideas, and we want to accelerate economic impact. But we recognize that the world is dealing with what we call the 80% reality. That's 8 out of 10 high school graduates today don't want to work for a company, they want to start a company. The second is 80% of net new jobs are created by startups and small businesses, not large companies. And the third is 80% of the venture capital historically went to 3 places, New York, Boston, and California. But when you look at the heritage of this mountain state, we actually are the descendants of mountaineers who chose to blaze trails instead of follow paths. And that's what entrepreneurs are made of. So when we wrote our strategy at Marshall, called Marshall for All, Marshall Forever, it began with West Virginia's strategy, which was called West Virginia Forward. And it identified 6 areas where we already lead the nation and where the nation badly needs our skills. That's cybersecurity, healthcare, manufacturing, energy, aviation, and last but not least, entrepreneurship. So what are we doing today is we have developed an entire curriculum that is focused on helping students understand design thinking, which is how the greatest innovations in the world have come to be, including the iPhone. The second is we've developed an I-Center, which takes those same skills and teaches it to our small business owners and entrepreneurs in the community. And the third is we're building out an innovation district, which is modeled after the best practices of Purdue University and Ohio State University, but right in Huntington. And all of those become an asset, a center, a capability for the state to capitalize on.
Wow, that's impressive. I just read recently about the dollars that are going into that effort, so very impressive. Can you tell us a little bit about what Marshall's doing to empower entrepreneurs and to support small business owners?
Yeah, so first of all, one of the things that I've often answered when someone says, what's the difference between being in Silicon Valley and being in West Virginia? And I would say in Silicon Valley, if someone said, let's start a business, the response would be, why not? And here, if you say, let's start a business, someone would say, why? Why do you think I'm capable of doing that? And so I always refer to Michelangelo's quote that success is seldom limited when you aim too high and you fall a little short. It's when you aim too low and you hit the target. So the first thing we're trying to do is inspire our students and the next generation of entrepreneurs and business owners to dream big. It can happen right here in West Virginia. And so the first thing we want to do is have them untether their restrained thinking. The second is we want to bring the skills and the capabilities that entrepreneurs use every day and teach them how to do that. Design thinking is about falling in love with the problem, coming up with 6 or 7 ways to solve the problem, and then just running scrappy experiments to say, hey, is this going to work or not work? And those skills and those capabilities are easily taught. That's what the I-Center is doing. Last but not least is dollars follow ideas and talent. This capital problem is no longer a problem in West Virginia. We have venture capitalists that are sitting here now saying, I want to support a small business owner or a startup because I know I can count on that generation that's going to follow this owner to say, I want to stay in West Virginia and run that business. People want to invest in those kinds of companies. So that's what we're doing, is we're trying to bring those capabilities and that supporting ecosystem to our entrepreneurs and our small business owners.
Great. I got to tell you, manufacturing is something that is near and dear to my heart from my time at the West Virginia Economic Development Authority. But can you take just a minute on our third question and talk to us about advanced manufacturing and what you and Marshall University are doing with advanced manufacturing?
I love this as well, Mr. Secretary. I often say in West Virginia we celebrate inspiration and we celebrate perspiration. If your car is going to break down, I hope you break down in West Virginia because we're kind enough to stop and still crafty enough to know how to fix it. Yeah. And so we have this amazing asset called the Advanced Manufacturing Center, and it teaches the skills and capabilities for those who want to go into the trades. If you want to be an electrician, you want to learn how to weld, you want to learn how to work with robotics, we have 900 people who come through every year that get credentials, certificates, apprenticeships, and over 300 companies in the state are able to come in and use our multi-million-dollar technology so they don't have to buy it themselves. They can get their prototype built, get funded, and then be able to get started. So this is really an opportunity, and we're leaning into our VOTEC and CTE programs in high school. So the half of the students who choose not to go to college are able to enter the workforce and be a part of the 21st century economy. And the other half who want to go to college can come to Marshall or one of our other amazing institutions.
Wow. Well, thank you very much for joining us, President Smith. Thank you for watching today, and we'll see you next time.